walk you through how to do the downloads again, and then we're going to work on the guided project for Word Chapter 3. So I have my SimNet open and I have the projects pages. So I'm going to download or click on the link for the Word Chapter 3 guided project. And I'm going to download the start file because I've already downloaded the instructions. So here's the start file down at the bottom of my screen. I'm going to go ahead and click to open it. And it takes a minute to open.
You move it over here?
And so here's the screen we were looking at in class the other night. We always have to make sure to click Enable Editing. And then I'm going to expand that a little bit. Now I'm going to go to the File tab. I'm going to Save As so that I can save it. I'm going to save it to my documents. And I'm not going to change the name. So I'm going to just click Save. And now we're ready to start. Now my computer is zoomed in so you can see both pages because I have a slightly larger screen. If you want to, you can zoom in so you're just looking at your individual page. And so this project we're going to be working on a few different, more advanced skills. So we're looking at how to customize the document properties. We're going to be looking at putting in headers and footers. So these are the kinds of things that you would do if you were working on a report. And the first instruction, now that we've saved it, we're done with instructions 1 and 2. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some document properties. And the document properties allow you, if you wanted to search later for your documents, to be able to find them using some of these keywords. So I'm following the instructions in step 3. 3A says to click the File tab. And this is Backstage View. Basically shows you all of the information about your document, gives you some options for whether or not you want to protect your document so people can't make changes to it. So from this screen, we can click on this button here. 3B says Show All Properties. And now we have all of the properties and we can edit. So we are going to edit the title. So we're going to click where it says title and we're going to type Online Learning Plan. And then we're going to change the company. So we have to go down here a little bit. So we find company and we're going to type in Sierra Pacific Community College District. And then the manager. So we can look down here where it says related people. We're going to click in the manager section and we're going to type in Hasmik Kumar. And then we tap. So once all of that's typed in, we can go back to our document by clicking this arrow in the upper left-hand corner. And now we're on to step number 4. So step 4 is inserting a cover page and managing some of the content controls. So if you're at any point in the document and you want to get back to the very beginning, you can use the keys Control plus Home on your keyboard. So I'm going to hit Control plus Home, which is what it says to do in step 4A. I'm already at the beginning of the document, so it doesn't really do anything. But if you were on like the 2nd or 3rd page, it would jump back up to the beginning. And then step 4B says to click the cover page button. So it gives you in the brackets on the instruction sheet the tab to click on. So it says Insert Tab. And then Pages Group. So up here in the upper left, all the way to the left of the toolbar, you have an option that says Cover Page. And when you click on that button, it gives you a whole bunch of different options to choose from. And it tells us to choose the Austin in step 4C. So we look for Austin. It happens to be in alphabetical order. And now we're going to do some modifying of the information that's on our cover page. So if you look at it, you have a whole bunch of boxes of words. These are text boxes. And they're kind of like placeholders. So they're going to allow you to, rather than having to put the text boxes on the page yourself, you can just click and modify what's in the actual text box. So in the section that says Document Subtitle, we're going to click here so it gets gray, and then we're going to delete. And then we can now type in, if we wanted to, our own subtitle. But we're not going to have a subtitle, so we're going to just leave it empty. And we're going to go and backspace. So we're going to delete that space. And then it says in step 4F to select the title and change the font size. So it doesn't give us step-by-step instructions for that because that's something that we've already done. So we're going to highlight, and you have two options. You can either go to the Home tab, like we've done, or if you want to use a shortcut menu, and we talked about shortcut menus in class the other day, if you use the right-click button on your mouse, it brings up all of the different things you can do with that text that you highlighted. So we are going to choose to change the size in this little box with the number. So we're going to click on 36. We're going to go down to where it says 48. And so now we've changed the size of the font. In step 4G, it tells us we're going to modify the abstract section. So that's this smaller text in the top of the cover page. And this is sort of a brief overview of what the report is going to be about. So we're going to click here. And we don't even really need to hit the backspace or the delete key because of the content control. The way it's set up is as soon as you click in it, if you haven't modified it yet, it highlights the text so you can just start typing. So we're going to type in the instructions. It tells us what we want to type. This report was developed by the Online Learning Task Force at Sierra Pacific Community College District to review and update the district's strategic plan for online learning. So we type it, and now it asks us in step 4H to change the text alignment and to italicize. So we're going to highlight what we just typed. And same thing, once we highlight text, you get that shortcut pop up as long as you don't move your mouse too far away from the text. So we can change the italicized from here. So we're going to click italicized, and then we're going to go on to the Home tab, and we're going to do left alignment, which is on the Home tab in the paragraph group. And now we're going to do one more edit to the cover page. In step 4I, it says to click the author. Now, because I'm using my computer, it automatically puts my name. Yours will probably say author if you've never changed the properties on your computer. So you're going to click there, and we're going to delete it because we don't need the author. So we kind of click on the edge of the control and press delete. And now we should be here. Oops. Let me undo that. I didn't mean to delete the whole thing. So we're going to delete, and we are going to now, rather than typing in our name, we are going to use what we call a quick part. So we're going to go to with our cursor blinking there, we're going to go to the Insert tab. It's what's telling us to do in step 4J. And we are going to look for where it says Quick Part. So if you scroll all the way to the right in this section where it says Text, you see Quick Parts. We're going to click it, and we're going to go to where it says Auto Text. Oh, actually we want Document Properties. So we have to highlight that box. So we go to Document Property, and then we're going to select Manager, is what it says in 4K. Let's see. Let's not do this. There we go. And now we're going to apply bold formatting. So we're going to highlight it, and then bold. So we're done with step number 4. And you can click somewhere off to the side to unhighlight whatever is highlighted. In step 5, we're going to do some styles. So we're going to add a heading to the main, or a heading style to the headings in the document. So we're going to go down into the second page of the document, and we're looking for the words. So we're looking at all of these that are in all caps and bold. So in step 5A, it says apply the heading 1 style to all of the main headings. So basically, we're going to highlight this first heading, and then we're going to go to the Home tab. And then the Styles group is what we were looking at in class for the guided project for Chapter 2. So we are looking for the style that's called Heading 1. And if you don't see it on your styles on the toolbar, then you can click this More button to make it show up. My screen's pretty wide, so you can see a lot more on my screen than maybe you can on yours. So we're going to click on that. And we're going to continue to change each of these. So we highlight and we make it heading 1, and we're looking for the ones, remember, that are bold and all caps. And we keep going, looking further down, see if we have any more. So we highlight and then just choose the style in one. And it looks like those are all the main subheadings. It should be the main headings. Now it says in step 5B to add the heading 2 style to all the subheadings that are underlined. So we're looking for these that are lowercase and underlined. So we're going to highlight and we're going to use heading 2 for those. And we'll just do that throughout the whole document. Now, if you remember, we were working on changing some formatting in Chapter 2. We were using the Format Painter. You could also use that, but because we're using a style that we didn't modify, it's just as easy to highlight and click on the Style option. Now, in step 5C, it says on the second page of the document, select the title Online Learning Plan. We're going to highlight it with our mouse and apply the title style. So we have to look for title. And then on the second page, we're going to select the subtitle, which is the Sierra Pacific Community College District. And we're going to apply the subtitle style. Okay, so now we've applied some styles and just changed the look. It doesn't change the content. It doesn't really change anything except for the styles. And one of the things that this is really helpful for is because what we're going to do in step 6 is we're going to add a table of contents. And if you notice, when I added all of those styles as headings and subtitles, this pane on the left-hand side of my screen opened up, and this is my navigation pane. All of those headings become like the things you would see in a table of contents to find page numbers. So what we're going to do in step 6 is we're actually going to use that to help us build our table of contents. So it says to click the first main heading. So we're going to click somewhere. We're going to click in front of the P. And we're going to insert a page break. And so to do that, you're going to go up to the Page Layout tab. And in this Page Setup section, we have breaks. So we're going to click on breaks and we're going to go to page. Basically what that's going to do is it's going to make that jump to a new page and give us a whole bunch of empty space without having to hit enter or do any arrows and moving around that way. And so it says in step 6B on the second page, click directly after the subtitle. So that would be right here in this empty line. And now it says to press enter. And then it says, with the insertion point on the blank line below the subtitle. So we're going to go back up here actually. Click the Table of Contents button. And so to get to that, we're going to click on the References tab. And it's in this section that's called Table of Contents, which is all the way to the left here. We're going to click Table of Contents, and it says to select Automatic Table 2. Okay, and so this is our Table of Contents now. And it tells us in step 6E to select the words and change the font color. So the shortcut pops up, and font color is the letter A with, it's right now for mine it's red, but there should be a colored underline under the letter A. So we're going to click the drop down arrow and we're choosing black text 1. Here you have to look for the name of the color. Okay, and then in the last step of 6F, it says if there's a blank line in between the subtitle and the table of contents, delete it. And so to find out if there is, it doesn't look like there is, but I'm not sure, I'm going to go to the Home tab and I'm going to click on the Show Hide button. If there was another paragraph marking in between this line and this one, then I would know that there's a blank line and I would have to delete it, but I don't have one. So I'm done with step number 6, and I'm going to turn off Show Hide. So now we're going to go ahead and insert footnotes. So it says in step 7A, on the 3rd page, we're looking for the text that says Web Enhanced Course. So that's this bold point. So we're going to click after that, and we're going to insert a footnote. All of the kinds of things you would see in a research paper or in a essay would be in the References tab. So footnotes, endnotes, the table of contents, the bibliography, and works cited. So we're going to click on References, and then in the second group that's called Footnotes, we're going to click on the button that says Insert Footnote. And what that does is it puts a little number 1 next to the word, and then it has us actually in this section down here, it gives us space to either define the word that has the little number next to it or give more information to the reader. So it says in step 7C to type in the footnotes area, it says, just for clarification, this is a non-OL course that uses OL tools. And no period. And then it says to click after the online learning. It says first body paragraph. First body paragraph, second sentence. On the 3rd page, after online learning. This one right here. And it says to insert another footnote. Let me just double check and make sure I'm inserting it in the right spot. Third page of the document. Let me see. So it's in the second paragraph right after it says future of online learning. I'm going to click after the word online learning, and we're going to insert another footnote. So it's going to have another number 2 next to it now, if you look, or number 1, excuse me. Because this now becomes the first one, even though we entered this one first, because this one shows up first on the page, that gets a number 1, this one gets a number 2. And now we can type in our notes for this one. It says online learning will be referred to as OL throughout this document. Okay, so we're making little notes for people reading so that they can refer to them at the bottom of the page. And so now in step 8, it's asking us to modify the footnotes number format. So it tells us how to do that. So it says to click the launcher. And so remember, these little arrows are going to open up the dialog box. They're called launcher. So in the footnote section group, we're going to click the launcher, and we're going to go to the section where it says select the number format. So right now it's 1, 2, 3, and we want to select I, all the lowercase i's. And then we're going to click apply. If you don't click apply, it's not going to make the change. So now you notice instead of being 1, 2, it says I and II, which would be 1 and 2 in like small case Roman numerals. Okay, and now step number 9 is to insert and modify the content header. And so we're going to look, it says in step 9A, position the insertion point at the top of the table of contents. So we're going to go to the, oops, a little too far, to the top of the table of contents, oops, in front of the letter T. Top of the table of contents page. I should make sure I finish reading. So that's actually in front of the letter O in online learning plan. and then we're going to add page numbers. So we're already on the page where we want to be, so we're going to go to the Insert tab, and then page numbers are in this section where it says header and footer. So these are the things that are going to show up. Headers show up at the top of every page in your document, and footers show up at the bottom of every page. So because a page number would be something that's on every page, it's actually in the header and footer section. So we're going to choose the header page number in the header and footer section, and we are going to put a page number at the top of the page, and we are choosing bold numbers 3. So here are a whole bunch of different preset formats for page numbers, and we're looking for bold numbers 3. We're going to choose that one, and so it's going to add the page number to our paper, and then it says to delete the blank line below the page number. So if you click below the page 1 of 5, you see that the cursor jumps down. It's because there's an extra space. If we had turned on the show hide button, it would show a paragraph marking. We're just going to backspace, and that gets rid of that extra space. And then in step 9E, it says select the text and change the font size to 10. So we're going to highlight, our shortcut pops up, and we choose size 10. Okay, and now we're going to modify the footer. So if you scroll down to the bottom of your document without clicking on anything else, you'll notice that the footer is open also when you open up the header. So if you you can either scroll down, or you can, up here in the design tab, which only opens up when the header and footer are open, you have a button that says go to footer, and so it automatically jumps you down there, so you don't even have to use your mouse or scroll. So that's what step 10A tells us to do. In 10B, it says to click the quick parts button. So quick parts is in the insert section of the design tab. Quick parts, and we are going to go to the document property, and it tells us to select title. So this is all in step 10B. And then it says to press the right arrow once. So I press it to deselect the property field, and press tab, and that moves me over to the center of the footer. And now I'm going to go back up to quick parts. In step 10D, it says to add another document property, and now we're going to add the company. One more time, we're going to hit the right arrow, and we're going to hit tab one more time, and that's going to take us to the right side of the page. And now we're going to add in a date. But before that, we're going to type in the words last modified, no capital M like I did. I'm going to be marked off. So last modified, and then space. And now we're going to click on the date and time button, and we are going to choose the first format, which is just the short number format. And then we want it to update automatically, so we're going to check off that update automatically box and click OK. The last, in 10J, it tells us to select all the text, so that's all of this, and to change the size to 10. So when our shortcut menu pops up, we're going to click the arrow and choose 10. And now we can close the header and footer. So you have this section that says design, we're going to close that. And now because the header and footer are closed, that design tab goes away. And now if you go to the top of your page, you see the page number. At the bottom of the page, you see the company, and you see the title, and you see the date. Now we're going to insert a page break before the last subheading. So we're looking for the words, how are courses and programs selected for online learning delivery? So we're looking for that. Oops, so we skip it. First body page of the report. So this one. So it's on the bottom of actually what will be page 2 of 5, excuse me. So we're going to click in front of the H. We're going to insert another page break. I'm going to show you how to do it with the keyboard, or the instructions tell you now. Instead of using the page layout tab like we did earlier, we're going to use the keys Control and Enter. That inserts a page break. It's a keyboard shortcut. So I'm going to hold the Control key down and press the Enter key. And that now jumps on to the next page. And now, because that jumps onto the next page, my table of contents is not accurate anymore. So the last step in the project is to do an update to the table of contents so that the page numbers are accurate. So we're going to click anywhere in the table, and we're going to then go to the References tab, and then we're going to go to the section that says Table of Contents, which is all the way to the left, and we're going to click Update Table. So now it's going to ask us, do we want to update just the pages or the entire table? We want the entire one, and click OK. So it doesn't maybe seem like anything happened, but the page numbers now have changed to match because we moved this section, the How Our Course is Selected, we moved that actually to the top of the third page. And now we're done. So we have our cover page, we have a table of contents, and then we have our actual body paragraphs, and we've had a couple of footnotes, and then we have our footer and our header. So I'm done. I'm going to go back to the top of my document window, and I'm going to click on the little diskette to save it, or if you prefer keyboard shortcuts, you can hit Control S. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to go back now to my SimNet. I'm going to upload. So I have to go to my documents because that's where I saved it, and I'm looking for online learning plan. Click OK. I'm ready, yes. And my project is done. So that is chapter 3.